Hi children, I hope all of you are enjoying your lockdown period till now and staying safe at your home. But today onwards, we have to start our online class for computer and please be serious on your studies. So, today let us learn about tabular presentation in Microsoft Word. Last year, we have already learned basics of Microsoft Word like formatting text, changing the size of font, changing the color of text, aligning text to right and left, center, all these, and paragraph settings, all these we have learned. Now let us learn how to insert a table in Word. A table is an arrangement of data in rows and columns. It is easy to represent data in tabular form than in paragraph. So now let us move on to working with tables. A table is an arrangement of text in rows and columns. I told you table is an arrangement of text in rows and column and it enhances the presentation of the text. It will be easy to read or present the text. And table consists of rows and columns. Horizontal part of the table is called row, and the vertical part of the table is called column. Horizontal part means from left to right is called row and from top to bottom is called column. And the intersection of this row and column forms cell. Here you can see intersection of row and column forms a cell. And you must study that box. Questions will be asked like this. What is row? The horizontal section of table is called row. And what is column or define column? Vertical section of the table is called column. Explain cell. Intersection of row and column forms cell. That you must study thoroughly that box, yellow box. Clear? Now let us move on to the next part, that is part of the table. On the left top you can see a square with a plus sign, this one, that is called move handle, and this move handle is used to select the whole table. When you click on the table, you will get the move handle, and when you click on that move handle, you can select the table. Also, it is used to move the whole table from one place to another place. You can click on that move handle, and you can drag the table to place it into some other place. And bottom right part, you can see a square, and when you click on this square, you can see a double-headed arrow, and using this you can resize the table. You can increase or decrease the size of the table. If you move upwards, then you can decrease the size, you can reduce the size of the table, and if you move downwards, if you pull it downwards, you can increase the size of the whole table. So like using that, you can adjust the size according to our requirement. Clear?
Now you can see rows and columns here. From left to right section of the table is called rows. This one, a red highlighted part, and the yellow highlighted part, top to bottom part of the table is called column. Intersection of column and row forms the cell. Here, can you see? That one is the cell, and the other part of that square part is also called cell. Each cell forms the table. And in the next table, when you click on the table, you can see the move handle at the top left part of the table with a plus sign, and that is called move handle, and that move handle is used to select the entire table. When you click on the move handle, you can select the entire table. Also, it can be used to drag the table to another place, to move the table from one place to another like this. And bottom right part, you can see a square. This square, when you point the mouse into that square, you will get a double headed arrow. Can you see that double headed arrow? And using that double headed arrow, you can, that is resize handle, using that you can increase the size and decrease the size. When you pull it upwards, you can decrease the size. When you pull it downwards, you can increase the size. Clear?
Now, let us learn how to insert tables in Word. There are different methods to insert table in Word. Let us learn how to insert a small table, that means up to 10 columns and 8 rows. After that, we can learn inserting a large table that is larger than 10 columns and 8 rows. To insert a small table, we have to, that means small table means table with 10 columns and 8 rows. To insert a small table, first we have to click on Insert tab in the ribbon. Then from the Tables group, click on the Table button. Then in the drop down menu, you can see a grid of columns and rows like this. If you want to select 3 rows and 5 columns, you can move your mouse over to 5 columns. Then you have to select 3 rows, move the mouse to 3 rows, just drag, then you will get that table in the place where the cursor is placed in the document. That table will be inserted. Once more, place the cursor in the position where you want to insert the table. Then click on the Insert tab in the ribbon. From the Tables group, select Table option. Then you will get a grid of columns and rows. From there, you have to move the mouse over to the desired number of columns and rows. Then the table will be inserted into the place where the cursor is placed. It is the easiest method for small tables. Clear? Now let us learn how to insert a large table. That means more than 10 columns and 8 rows. Now I will show you how to insert the table in the Word document. First, you must place the cursor in the Word document where you want to insert the table. Then in the ribbon, click on Insert tab. From the Tables group, select Table option. When you click on the Table option, you will get a drop down menu with lots of grids. From that grid, you can select the desired number of rows and columns. Here I will show 3 rows and 4 columns, and then press. Then that table will be inserted in the place of cursor. Place the insertion pointer, that means cursor, over the place where you want to insert the table. Position the cursor in the place where you want to insert the table in the document. Then go to the Insert tab in the ribbon. Again, Tables group. click on the table button. Then you will get below that grid you can see insert table from the table drop down menu. Insert table, this one. Enter the number of columns to insert in the columns field. Let us see that how we can enter the number of columns and rows. Now look at this insert table dialog box. Here you can see enter number of columns and number of rows. There you can enter the desired number of columns you want and desired number of rows you want to insert in that table. Here number of columns they are given 11, that more than 10. Large number of table we are inserting, table with a large table we are inserting. So here they are entered 11 and number of rows 10, more than 8. And next option, select any one option from the auto fit options. There are 3 types of auto fit options: fixed column width option, auto fit to contents, and auto fit to window. Fixed column width means the column width is fixed. It will not automatically change whether your word size is bigger than the column width. It will not change. Suppose you want to enter word chair and the size is small, then if you are giving fixed column width, only CHA letters will be appear in that column and the other 2 letters IR will not appear in that cell. Otherwise, if you are giving auto fit to content, second option if you are selecting, even though your word is larger than the column, it will automatically adjust the size of the column and it will occupy that full word chair, CHAIR, in the column. Clear? And auto fit to window, the entire table will adjust according to the window. From left margin to the right margin, entire table will adjust automatically to the window. Is it clear? There are 3 options. Any one option you can select from that 3 options. Then click OK. Then the table will appear in the place where your cursor is placed in the document. Now let's see how to insert a large table. Place the cursor in the Word document and go to the ribbon. Click on Insert tab, Tables group. From the Tables group, select Table option and from the drop down menu, select Insert Table option. Now you will get a Insert Table box. In that you can select give number of columns. Here, since it is a large table, here I am entering value 11 and number of rows 10. Select any auto fit option and click OK. Now table will be inserted here in the Word document. Now let us learn how to select cells, rows and columns in a table. To select a cell, first you click in that cell and Table Tools group, select Layout tab. From the Tables group, click on the Select option, that yellow icon. When you click on the Select icon, you will get a drop down menu below. From there, you have to click on the Select Cells option. Like that, you can select rows, columns and the entire table. Now let's see how to select cells, rows and columns. To select a cell, place the cursor in that particular cell and in the ribbon you can select Tables Tools, Layout tab, click on the Layout tab. Then from the Tables group, click on the Select option. When you click on the Select option, you can see different options in the drop down menu and click on the Select Cell option. Now
you can see the cell, particular cell is selected. And if you want to select a row, click on, place the cursor in a cell in that particular row which you want to select, and select the option select row option. In the same way, you can select column or entire table. Clear?
Suppose we have created a table with the 5 rows and 3 columns. After that, we need to add one more row or column into that existing table. Let us see how we can add a new row or column into the already existing table. Let us see that.
Now let's see how we can add a cell to a table. Click Tools, select Layout tab. From Rows and Columns group, select Dialog Launcher. From Insert Cell dialog box, you can see a dialog box, Insert Cell. From there you can see 4 options. From there, if you want to insert a cell, if you are selecting shift cells down, the selected cell will be pushed downwards and a new cell will be inserted there. If you are selecting shift cell right, then the selected cell pushed to the right side and a new cell will be inserted in that place.
First, let us see how we can insert a row or column using shortcut method. For that, first right click in the row or column, and then you will get a menu list of options. From there, you can select the insert option, and you will list another set of options. From there, you can select the appropriate option. Now let's see how we can add a row or column using a ribbon.
Now let's see how to do that. Select a cell or row above or below where you want to add a row. In the ribbon, you can see the Tables tool section. From there, you have to select Layout tab, and from the ribbon, you have to select Rows and Column group. You have to select row below or insert row below or above. Then click, I am clicking insert below. Do you see now one new row inserted in that table? Like that, you can insert column also. If you want to insert column, please place the cursor in a cell and select from the Layout tab. Click on the Layout tab and select insert column to the right or left, these two. Now I am selecting here insert right. Did you see one new column inserted in the table?
This is the activity for you. Create a table in Microsoft Word with 5 rows and 3 columns. First you create a table. Then second step, after creating, insert a new row between second and third row. And again one more column you have to insert in the table between first and second column. This is a small activity. Please try to do at home. Thank you, children. Have a wonderful day ahead.